In the future, there will be 500
daily uploading PokeYouTubers.
far out, but nothing to watch.
What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back now with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Felicia, a person I battle off my Discord server. So if you guys are interested in a Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle and trade community Discord chat room, and a place to hang out and find Wi-Fi battles, definitely check out my Discord server. A link is in the description, and it's the only spot where I'm accepting battle requests at the moment. Now, me and Felicia are having an underused battle today, as I'm using a pretty fun underused team with a core that you guys may be familiar with due to my previous videos, because you already know what that does, and if you don't, be in for a treat. And my opponent's team looks pretty scary. He has like Kyurem and then Terrakion, which is somehow underused. Like, I don't even, I mean, I guess if Clefable's allowed to be underused, then what's stopping Terrakion, right? So, I mean, I'm not really complaining. I'm just kind of surprised that Terrakion managed to drop to underused. So anyway, my opponent's going to lead off with Terrakion. Turn 1 is I'm going to lead off with my Bananas, my Infernape now. I don't know if he wants to risk the speed tie or what, but he has a Slowbro, and I'm like, well, if I lose and I misplay this turn 1 and I get fucked, I mean, so be it. But if I get this play correctly, hit him with a Thunder Punch with Bananas, and it doesn't even do half, and I'm like, oh, that was pretty underwhelming. I sniped him on the switching, right? But like, it just didn't matter because it did nothing, so unfortunate. Maybe if I was choice banded, I would have done it, but no, I'm life orb with Sword Stance. So I'm going to switch up my Infernape here, and bring in my Noxious Trap, my Amoonguss here, expecting the Scald. My opponent does go for Psyshock here, probably expecting my Amoonguss to switch in, which is a good play. It does about half damage to my Amoonguss, and the Slowbro actually ends up being faster than my Amoonguss. I don't really know how that's actually possible, but it happens. So I guess Amoonguss is actually slower than Slowbro, but I mean, I shouldn't be too surprised, honestly, but whatever. Anyway, now my opponent's going to switch out his Slowbro and bring in the Tentacruel, expecting, I don't even know, probably expecting Spore, because he doesn't have a Spore switching on his team, because he has no Grass type or Overcoat user, so it's rather unfortunate for him, or her. It's a girl. It's Felicia. Her name is Felicia. So, I Spore the Tentacruel, which is going to be nice, because I don't want this thing setting up hazards on me, as my opponent's actually going to double and bring in the Kyurem, probably because, she had no reason to stay in. I mean, she could have burned a sleep turn there, but I guess getting the offensive pivot into Kyurem is a good play. So I'm going to bring in my Crocodile to obviously punish the Tentacruel, but my opponent was a step ahead of me there, bringing in the Kyurem onto my Crocodile. And I don't want to stay in here and take an Ice Beam or Draco Meteor, so I'm going to switch out into pretty much my hard counter via Primarina. It's a little bit unfortunate that Kyurem is an Ice Dragon type, because, you know, Water Fairy is not the best matchup for that typing. But Ice Beam does do a really big chunk of damage regardless. I mean, I'm not like Spadef Primarina. I think I'm like max HP, max special attack with lefties. I'm actually like Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald, Moonblast, Primarina. I figured it wouldn't be that bad, right? I mean, like, it's bulky enough to make it work. So, I'm like, why not, right? So, my opponent doesn't want to stay in here. The Ice Beam did so much damage, so it leads me to believe he's either Modest Scarf or just Choice Box. So, I'm going to bring in my Linoone here, expecting the Slowbro or Clefable to come in. Now, my opponent's probably expecting me to go for Belly Drum, which is what every Linoone does. Oh, no. I'm going to trick this Clefable with Choice Scarf. I was hoping the Slowbro would want to switch in instead, but I guess Clefable works too. As another Clefable's going to click Moonblast here, probably just to punish my Belly Drum, but I would have lived it. So I guess that would have been a misplay if I got my Belly Drum off, but I guess he had Slowbro, or she had Slowbro on the back, so it doesn't really matter regardless. But now, my opponent is going to bring in her Terrakion. She also had Terrakion to resist E-Speed, as I'm just going to click Thunder Wave here, just because I want to paralyze something. May as well, as Terrakion comes flying in and gets destroyed by the Thunder Wave. She probably thought it was going to Belly Drum there. I don't even know. I mean, I guess like every Linoone's a Belly Drum Linoone, so like I guess it's just like such a shock to see someone not use Belly Drum E-Speed Linoone. But anyway, I do get lucky paralysis here, but I mean, like, if you use Thunder Wave Linoone, you deserve any Parahacks you can get. As now my opponent's going to actually click Sword Stance. My opponent is not messing around anymore. She's like, fuck this shit, fuck Linoone, I'm just going to freaking go for SD, which is fair enough. I'm just going to go for the Giga Drain and try not to KO the Terrakion, as I should be able to live a +2 Stone Edge, but my opponent does have the Z move. She's going to flex on me with Terrakion, and Terrakion looks very menacing. Actually, its facial expression hasn't changed at all. But yeah, it's going to go for Continental Crush. Continental Crush that like button. But you know, all that fun stuff. She's gonna drop the freaking world on my head, and then boom, and then Moongus is probably gonna die because Terrakion is rather powerful. So down goes my Moongus, unfortunately. As now I'm gonna bring in my Thug Life, my Crocodile once again, just to get the Intimidate. And since this guy's paralyzed, I should be able to outspeed it, so that's good for me. As I'm just gonna knock this thing up with Earthquake, and my opponent doesn't really have a ground resist on her team. She has her Crocodile, but that's not switching into a life or Crocodile's Earthquake, so Crocodile is pretty strong in the underused tier, I've quite noticed. It's probably the best Dark type. I think it's better than Bisharp, honestly. I actually think Crocodile is as good, if not better, than Bisharp. Anyway, in comes Kyurem, and I can't really stay in on the Kyurem because I'll just get Ice Beamed and just get one shot. But my opponent's going to make a double here. Very good play. I'm bringing in her Tentacruel, expecting me to pivot into my Primarina because the Spore Thread is gone because she knocked out my Amoonguss, so now she could try to wake up her Tentacruel. And if Tentacruel gets up Toxic Spikes or something, that could be very bad for me. I mean, not every Tentacruel carries Toxic Spikes, but it's still a threat. It's still, you know, an idea. I always overthink in battles. Like, what if this guy is offensive Tentacruel with Toxic Spikes? And actually, spoilers, my opponent does have offensive Tentacruel, but that's besides the point. I'm gonna bring in my Crocodile here, expecting the poison type attack if he woke up, but she stays sleeping, thankfully, as now she's not going to want to stay in here. She's going to bring in her Clef onto my Crick, which is understandable because, I mean, it's Choice Scarf Fable, what's it going to do? And maybe she wanted to try to pivot into the knockoff, which is also a play I was very worried about, so I made sure I didn't click knockoff in case the Clefable wanted to come in. I mean, Clefable without leftovers isn't as threatening as you think it is, but it's still obnoxious if it's a Calm Mindset, so we're just going to Earthquake into a KO with Clefable. Not bad, we pretty much fodderized Clefable in 2 battles in a row, so I mean, that's a pretty good feeling. And now, my opponent is going to bring in her Kyurem once again, and I'm just going to die to Ice Beam. This is the same shit. I don't know if I should switch out this time around, though. My opponent is going to switch out. I was so close on staying in and clicking Earthquake again. Do I click Earthquake again? I feel like I do, but I don't think so. I don't feel like I don't think I'm that good. No, I'm not that real. I'm just going to double switch back into Primarina because worst case scenario, she freezes me with Ice Beam. I can scald off the freeze. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I know the Kyurem is pretty much choice specs. I mean, I feel like Primarina should take Ice Beam better than that, but maybe I'm underestimating Kyurem significantly, but I at least know it's choiced in some way. And now my opponent is going to bring in her Tentacruel now, as I just go for Scald here, just because I wanted to burn the Kyurem if it decided to switch in, or just go for Scald in general, as it does do a pretty big chunk of Tentacruel, considering Tentacruel's a Def monster, but I mean, Primarina does hit relatively hard, and I know it's actually really good in the Yu metagame. I think it's A- in Smogon's viability rankings, or A+. One or the other, but either way, that's pretty high, considering we have freaking monsters like Keldeo, and I guess Keldeo actually gets hard countered by Primarina, which is probably why it's used so much in the Yu tier. But I'm going to bring in my Linoone here, expecting her to not go for Hydro Pump, but I live it with 8 HP, and I'm like, thank God. So I didn't live that. That would have been rather bad, because if you guys are not familiar with the strategy that I used in my little showdown clip, I decided to tease you guys with. This is a Simple Beam support Linoone, not Belly Drum, because everyone is so afraid of Belly Drum Linoone that they just want to switch out into their physical walls ASAP. Not me. No. This is a Simple Beam support Linoone, so we're going to Simple Beam the Crocodile and give it Simple. I mean, if it carries Bulk Up, that would be pretty bad. I actually had a backfire where someone had Growth on something, and I gave it +4. Ooh, that was not fun. Because I got rid of Chlorophyll at least, so it was handleable, but the battle ended up DCing, so I couldn't record it, and it was really upsetting. But getting off that topic, we're going to bring in my Crocodile here to get the Intimidate, as now my opponent is going to click Earthquake, and it's not going to do too much damage because the Simple gave him -2 attack with the Intimidate. That's the nice combination with the Simple Beam plus Intimidate, as now I'm going to switch into my Pick Me Up once again, just as Death Fodder, because in case my opponent wants to switch out, I can Simple Beam another thing, so my Gardevoir can come in and do its thing. So unfortunately, whatever, I just kind of sack off my Linoone. That's pretty much the exchange with the strategies. Now I'm going to bring Caseytron, my Gardevoir. You guys already know what's coming. I've used this multiple times, but in just different variants. This variant is pretty fun because this one has a nice specialty that you'll see at the end of it. So my opponent is Choice Scarf. I'm going to go for the Earthquake. At least I think he's Choice Scarf. I actually have no idea. The Kyurem's either Choice Scarf or the Crocodile's Choice Scarf. I don't know which one it is, but one of them's Choice Scarf, okay? So I'm going to go for Calm Mind here, as I'm going to get +2 in my special attack and special defense, because I did trace the Simple ability, and Simple does double your stat changes, in case you guys did not know. So now my opponent is going to bring in the Tentacruel, probably just to punish me or whatever, but I'm going to go for +2 Moonblast, and it's going to do a really big chunk considering I have no special attack investment. Yes, Gardevoir is max HP, max speed, just so we can take more attacks with the Calm Mind. Maybe special attack investment would be more efficient, but the Tentacruel actually carries Acid Spray, which significantly, no, severely lowers my speed def. So now I'm at -2 speed def because it's simple, which is pretty funny. But thankfully, Stored Power is able to knock out the Tentacruel still. That could have been very bad if it didn't knock him out, because it didn't nullify my +2 in the Stored Power. So Stored Power actually lost 40 base power because of the Acid Spray. I know it's kind of hard to like put that all in your mind at once, but that's how Stored Power works. Here, I do reveal my Endure because the Scarf Crocodile is inevitably going to kill me, but I did have a way around faster Pokemon. I'm going to use Endure here, live with 1 HP, as now I'm going to get my Salac Berry. Is it Salac or Salac Berry? I don't even know anymore, but we're going to get the Salac Berry. We're going to sharply raise the speed because of Simple, and now we're going to be able to outpace Scarf Crocodile and Scarf Kyurem if it is Scarf Kyurem. Moonblast is going to knock out the Crook, and it should be GG from here. Actually, Slowbro could potentially live the Moonblast, which is my opponent's going to do here. She's going to bring in Slowbro. I'm just going to click Moonblast anyway, because at this point, I'm pretty sure Infernape can win the game after the Moonblast damage, as Moonblast just ends up critting the Slowbro anyway. I'm sure the crit mattered, but honestly, you got to give this Gardevoir a sweep. If you manage to get this off, you just had to kind of like sit back and just let it happen. So the game just let it happen. My opponent's going to bring in the Kyurem, and it's going to get outpaced by me and knocked out with Moonblast. And yeah, that's the combination with Simple Beam. My long-term fans know that I am addicted. I love Simple Beam. I have made countless strategies with the move that's not Simple Beam plus Evo Boost, because that's too standard. I make some cheeky ass strategies. I've been using this since Oras. Well, not this one in particular, but I've been using Simple Beam since Oras, and I love that move a lot. And yeah, it's fun to see what kind of combinations you can come up with the move. But I hope you guys did enjoy this battle. If you guys enjoyed the battle and want to support my YouTube channel, please be sure to Continental crush that like button, as you know, it means the world to me, and your support has been outstanding lately. The likes and the comments, it means the world to me, and I'm just really happy you guys are just staying on my channel to support me and what I do, and I love you. Anyway, the question of the day is going to be, with the release of Mega Manectric, Mega T-Tar, and Mega Abomasnow, which Mega do you guys want to see me use in my future battles? It may not be the next battle, because I have a couple battles backed up. Let me know in the comments below, as I actually really want to use Mega Abomasnow, but Mega Manectric also hypey. Mega T-Tar is also up there, but like Mega T-Tar like doesn't have anything change about it. It's just kind of like the same thing, and you're better off using regular T-Tar. I just wish they gave it like Sand Force or something. Like that would make it like debatable if you want to use regular T-Tar or Mega T-Tar. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll check you guys in my next video. Alright, peace.